Hello! Hello, how are you doing? Good. Thanks for asking. Today I'm going to be reviewing Nightfall by Jake Halpern and Peter Kujawinski. Don't know why I went so high at the end. By Jake Halpern and Peter Kujawinski. I was severely disappointed with this book, and I don't like doing negative reviews, which makes this difficult. Nightfall is a high-concept fantasy thriller. It follows a group of people who live on an island. Instead of a day lasting 24 hours, the period of time for a day is 14 years, and the period of time for a night is 14 years. So the islanders have just had 14 years of daytime, and it's becoming nighttime. At this point, everyone on the island has to leave. Basically, their village that they live in, they didn't build, they found it 100 years ago or so, and every morning, which lasts for a couple of years, they sail to this island, they live there for 14 years, and then when it comes to dusk, when the sun is setting, they all leave. And drastic are the consequences if they don't leave properly or promptly. The story of Nightfall follows 3 teenagers who are left on the island when it comes to night. So I heard a few reviews of this book on BookTube. I thought, hey, I'll give it a go. And because the concept is brilliant. It's a really original concept, playing with our idea of time, the fact that these people they're living on like 24-hour cycles because they have to sleep, but it's daytime. And the idea of this 14-year night is really creepy and really insidious, and I really like the concept. But the book just didn't deliver, and I was so sad because it started out great. I was so spooked starting this book. I got a few chapters in, and I couldn't read it anymore because I was reading it at night. And I had to put it down, and then I had nightmares. And I never have nightmares. I never ever have nightmares. And I was just lying in bed, just looking at shadows, going, oh my god, that could be something creepy. And then for some reason I imagined there was a clown in the corridor, and I had to go and check. And I got really creeped out. I should explain for context. I'm afraid of clowns. Don't judge. The reason I was so scared when I was reading this book. For the first couple of chapters, there is an unseen threat. Their village borders a forest, they're told not to go in the forest, there's something in the forest, and this thing in the forest could be the thing which comes out at night time. There's a real feeling of dread, and people are terrified of being left on this island. We don't know why, and that's what's good about it. Not knowing is the scariest thing in the world. So for the first third of this book, this threat is completely unknown. We know that there's something in the woods. Nighttime comes, and our 3 protagonists are, in a way, being hunted by something. And it could be anything. And that's what was so terrifying about it. It could be a monster, it could be ghosts, it could be something paranormal, it could be something else. It could be, maybe there was going to be like a sci-fi twist. Maybe it was aliens, maybe it was research scientists. And then about a third of the way through, you kind of find out what it is. And it immediately stopped being scary. Not because what it was isn't scary, it became a bit too obvious. I was all set up for something really terrifying. And they were like going from house to house, and there were like marks on the houses, and they were like, oh, something's been here. And then you find out what it is, and you're like, ah, well, yeah. So then I struggled to read the rest of the book, because without the fear, and without the threat, because I mean the characters were still threatened, but I didn't really care so much about it anymore, and it wasn't scary to me. But without that, I just noticed how badly written the book is. And that's a horrible thing to say. But I know it's meant for YA readers, but I found it really shallow. It's from the point of view of 3 characters, and it swaps between them at a whim. So instead of like really finding out what one person is thinking and feeling and their motivations, you kind of superficially get all 3, and it wasn't enough really for me to like any of the characters. If it had been just one character's point of view, or if each chapter had been one person, then fair enough. But because it was floating from person to person, from paragraph to paragraph almost, I didn't have enough time to really inhabit a character. I didn't have enough time to really get to grips with that character and what they were feeling. I don't know, and there were just so many decisions were just crap. And there's a bit halfway through, sorry, I won't spoil anything, there's a bit halfway through where there's tension between characters and they're arguing, and then they resolve it like that. What? Like that's not, they ratcheted up the tension really fast, and they were like, okay, fine, we're all right now. Friends again? Yeah, fine. And you're like, no, that's bad writing. You keep that tension. You keep that, and it lasted like a chapter. YA can be so much better. Maybe it's meant for younger readers. So maybe if you're 13 or something, you'd get a lot more from this book. But I didn't care about the characters. I'm really sorry about that. I hate giving negative reviews. Up to the first third of this book, I would have given it 4 out of 5 stars, and I ended up giving it like 2. It set it up really well, and it was a great concept, and it just didn't deliver on that concept. So I do recommend this book for people who like thrillers and scary books, but not too scary. And I do recommend it for, I guess, younger readers. I was disappointed, and if you've heard really good things about this book, like I did, just take them with a pinch of salt. You know those like critics who like thrive off just being really negative? I could never do that, which is probably a good thing. Anyway, so that is Nightfall. If you've read it and if you had a different experience, because I know a lot of people do like this, then please comment below. Because if you like this book, I want to know why, I want to know what really did it for you, and thank you very much for watching.